Well, damn. Hello there, cool people. Um, as you can see in today's video, it's a little bit of a different shot. I'm actually using my camera this time, which has been just collecting dust and recording the audio on this lovely iPhone of mine. And yeah, it's pretty cool. Actually, I can already tell just setting up the little tripod shot and everything makes it feel more official, even though it's the exact same thing that I've been doing. Um, and yeah, man, just wanted to see what's up with you guys. I just checked the last video, like it hadn't picked up any views the day I had posted it, and that shit doesn't really matter at all in a way, even though it is cool, like seeing it happen. So I guess it does kind of matter, or it has an effect. It has some sort of an effect on me. Not necessarily that getting no views is discouraging, because it actually feels encouraging in a way and freeing, very freeing and exciting. But it's cool. And then I just checked and it had picked up a lot of views. Like out of these recent videos, it's almost the most viewed one. And yeah, it's just cool. I have no idea who watched it or how many of those little views, how many of those people actually like watched half of it or almost the whole thing. Maybe not many, maybe almost all of them. I have no idea. I can't tell. Well, I'm sure there's statistics I can check on that on the YouTube Studio app and stuff, but that's not really the point for me right now. And yeah, I was literally like actually funny enough, I was about to play some Fortnite with one of my homies. Shout out Braden. I was about to play some Fortnite with him because I pitched the idea to two of my other homies and they were not really feeling the Fortnite vibes, which is fair. Even though I feel like that game got way too much hate, obviously like all the cringiness around it and all the little kids playing it, using their credit cards, their mom's credit card to buy like skins and stuff made it kind of like a meme. But it's actually kind of fun. I haven't played it in years and I played it and I was like, yo. So anyway, I was about to play with a friend, but since we're both on MacBooks and you have to and the way to play on a MacBook, because there's some sort of a lawsuit or some sort of a disagreement between Apple and I guess Fortnite. You have to play it through like a server, like a different thing. It's called like cloud gaming or stream gaming. I don't know what it's called. It's super weird, but it kind of works. But today it just wasn't working. I guess there's too many kids playing Fortnite. I mean, it's Sunday, kind of early evening, so makes sense. So I was literally just gonna, like, I just sat down here. I laid down actually, and I was about to watch a movie or just consume something. Then I was kind of like, oh, I'm kind of tired. Should I just take a nap? And then I just opened YouTube, and I was like, yo, let me check my videos. Well, it just happens automatically now. I just open my YouTube, and I'm like, oh, let me see, like, how are my little seeds that I set doing, you know? It's like I'm checking on my seeds in my garden. And yeah, this is kind of actually felt quite nice, you know? Felt quite nice seeing that for whatever reason. But yeah, there's literally absolutely nothing else that I had envisioned to talk about right now. It was just an acknowledgement of like, yo, I've only posted a couple of those videos the last week, and some people have seen it. Received one comment from one of my close homies on the first one. He said that like he resonated with it, and it maybe a little bit like helped him realize something or remember something, which like that in itself is so cool. And yeah, even just the conversation I had with my mom about one of the videos, and I don't know, it's just cool, man. It's cool putting stuff out there, and there's an effect. Actually, yeah, I think it was yesterday that I saw like a meme or something that showed like in quotations it said oh, I only got 50 views, like how lame. And then a picture of 50 people, and it's like, oh, it's kind of a decent amount of people just like looking at you, like smiling and like encouraging you in that case. And then it had the same with 100 views, with like 500 views, with 1,000 views. And it's wild, you know? Like, those numbers seem so small because we're obviously comparing it to what we're used to seeing, which is like hundreds of thousands, millions of views, whatever. Or even like tens of thousands of views still, like a big difference. But it's actually a lot of people, man. And even just like having 30 people watch a video, or at least a part of the video, it's cool, man. 30 people were like, oh, what is this? Or like, oh, I know that guy. Or, oh, damn, the homie posted. What is this about, you know? You had a little effect in that sense. However small, you were part of their day in some way. It's just cool, man. That's such a cool power of the internet. And I think, yeah, one of the videos that I made like 7 months ago, where I guess I was on a similar wave. I was like, man, I'm gonna just start making videos of whatever, just me talking. And I did like 2 videos and stopped. Which that like whole, what do you call it? That whole pattern has been quite prevalent in my life with many things. I just start something and then it doesn't, I don't know, I just like let it go, and that's fine, you know? But it's just interesting. But anyway, in that video, I talked about how it's cool how nowadays you could have a conversation or share a thought or tell a story or whatever. That could be through just a talking video, a podcast, or it could be a song, could be a poem that you recorded, or even just written down. There's so many things that nowadays, before, you could only like share with one person, especially when it comes down to like having a conversation like I'm kind of doing right now, or like a podcast with like a few people talking. Like, usually that would only affect those people and the conversation will stay there. But now we have the chance to share that with so many people, and that one conversation could touch, inspire, help hundreds, thousands, millions of people, which is just really fucking cool. And yeah. Yeah, I don't really know what else I have to say, I guess. It's just nice to appreciate that technology existing and the possibility of you using it for something cool and productive. And not productive in the sense of like fucking grind, but just productive as in you could actually do something useful for yourself or for others. And the usefulness of it could be just you having a creative outlet, or just yapping, just releasing, whatever it is. Like, that is truly productive, you know, in my mind. And yeah, man. That's basically all I have for you right now. I don't really know if I have anything else for you right now. I'm just chilling. I went on a little family lunch because my aunt had a name day a few days ago. So that was cool. See the fam. It's a Sunday, like I said. I'm on holiday, as in I'm in between my 2 uni semesters. And I'm just enjoying the rest, man. Like, I've needed it. Yesterday, I had my second movement therapy class, and that was quite cool. Entered like quite a trance-like state in the beginning, towards the beginning, when we were doing some closed eye stuff, like meditation style stuff, going through our bodies. And then we were walking around the room with our eyes closed, like maybe like 20 people. And that feels really interesting. Like, when you've already entered that meditative state and you almost feel like, whoa, where am I? In a good way, like you're kind of really tapped into your emotions. And for me, like, it was a little overwhelming even. And then you start moving around the room, and obviously you don't know where you're going. And I was really deep in that moment, in that sensation. And that was quite meditative. And yeah, it's just wild. It's just wild to enter that presence. Even right now, I can just look at the scenery and I'm just like, just like taking a moment of silence and just listen, like observe. It's super cool. So yeah, that was really cool. And obviously, like I said, this whole movement therapy thing, it's 7 classes throughout the month, and each one is focused on a different chakra. Obviously, this is the second class, second chakra, which is the sacral chakra. For those that don't know, it's the orange one, and it's kind of around your navel, a little under your navel or your belly button. And it's the one that has to do with your creative energy, aka your sexual energy. So it could be, with sexuality in general and intimacy, but also your sexual energy as a creative force. So your creativity, the way you make art, the way you express yourself. Eva was saying that the statement that matches or like that kind of describes that chakra is I want or I desire. So it has to do with what you desire and like the pleasures of life and indulging in beautiful things and stuff like that. So it was cool. I mean, I do feel like in general, I'm working through stuff in that chakra. And just letting go of certain things when it comes to like sexuality and like shame around sex and stuff like that, from the past. It's actually an interesting topic. Like that might be like a cool topic to discuss in one of these videos. But yeah, man, I've had shame in the past or a difficulty opening up intimately when it comes to sexuality and like with people, like partners or potential partners. Especially in the last few years, like I've kind of just haven't really had much of that at all going on. And there was something that kind of was gonna happen a few years ago, and then, yeah, I don't know, it just didn't feel right. And I'm glad that then I just spoke up and I was like, yo, like this doesn't feel right. So yeah, I don't know if that necessarily represented me like having a blockage there, because I'm not really sure about that, but it's definitely a part of me that sometimes doesn't feel like it's getting fully expressed. And I feel like I've been working on it, recently and just learning things about that. So that could be an interesting thing to talk about. There's a lot especially when it comes to like, obviously male sexuality. I know less about female sexuality and stuff, but I feel like that's a topic that gets more talked about nowadays because it has been repressed for so long, for so many centuries, that I feel like now just women are just talking about it and discussing it, whereas I feel like for men, it's not something that really gets discussed about much, apart from like the super surface level stuff of like man get pussy or like, when you have to we gotta bust one or like no, what is it, post nut clarity, like super like surface level things, but it's rare that people I feel like talk about male sexual health and intimacy and blockages and even just, I mean, more so nowadays when it comes to like the porn problem and just the addiction to masturbation and release, so like ejaculation and stuff basically for men. Like that does get touched on, but there's levels and it goes deep, and it's quite interesting. It's quite interesting, and it's something that I'm working on liberating further and further, because like I said, it's the creative energy, like if you start working with that, and in general working with the energy in your body, cultivating it, circling it around, yeah, there seems to be something there. I've done it for a bit. I've never been super consistent with it. I don't think I've necessarily, like, I've seen like the tip of the iceberg of what it can provide. I feel like, but yeah, I guess I'll share more as time goes, and as I learn more through my own experience. And yeah, I guess that's it. I don't want to drag it because I don't really feel like, I don't know. I don't really know what to say right now. I'm just here. I just decided to pull up the camera. I guess thank you to everyone that has tapped in and heard what I had to say, or even heard just a part of what I had to say. I mean, if you're at this point in the video, like, you're just built different, I guess. I respect your attention span, you know, because, yeah, there's no structure right now. I'm not really, yeah, it's just all over the place. Just how my life is in a beautiful way, like a really beautiful way. Actually, one of my homies, he called me because he was like, he got the impression of one of the videos, I guess he saw. He was like, man, like, you look pretty sad. And I don't know, I mean, I get sad, and, like, obviously I'm fairly, like, sensitive and emotional. I feel things deeply. But I didn't necessarily get that vibe on those videos. Maybe some of them I just felt kind of, like, tight or confused, like, for sure. But I guess this is just, like, a weird format, you know? Just the fact that there is no format. Well, I guess there is, just me talking. But there's no, like, structure of it. And more often than not, it just happens randomly. And I'm maybe, like, tired. Because also my idea with this stuff isn't just to do it when I'm, like, oh, like, I have this perfect idea, or, like, something just strikes and I'm like, I need to talk about this. I'm just doing it because I think it's a good habit for me personally to release stuff and to express stuff on the internet without it feeling like a big deal, or worrying that it's too boring, it's too all over the place, it's too much, it's too this, it's too little, it's too nothing, like, it's too lukewarm. What's the point, you know? I think, from what I can tell, that's helpful for me, you know, in general, for many different things, but it just feels like it's a helpful habit. So sometimes I would just be there kind of like, tired or lazy and still being there. So maybe that comes across that that's just, like, my overall mood, which I wouldn't say it is, you know? But yeah, I think that's it. Bless. Appreciate you guys. Love yourself, first and foremost. Cultivate that self-love, that self-respect. Take rest, like I was saying, because we're still in that mode, man. Like, actually, now I was just at lunch, like I said, for my aunt's name day, and my cousin, so my aunt's daughter, she has two little doggos, you know. I forget what the breed's called, but it's like those small, white, fluffy dogs, you know, just like fluffy and kind of like Tantan. Actually, no, it's a different breed, but actually, is it? I think it's like a Maltese. I think it's a Maltese. Malteser. Well, I know Malteser is a candy or like a chocolate, but like a Maltese. If anyone's still watching and you know what I'm talking about, I think you know what I'm talking about, that breed. And dude, like, they were sleeping the whole time. Obviously, it's dogs, so you'd assume, like, they're always sleeping. But they're in the restaurant, there's shit going on, we're there. Not the whole time, but more often than not, they were just, like, crashed out, you know? And my cousin was like, wow, like, they're sleeping a lot. And, I don't know. I feel like in general, it's just that season. Like, they don't even question it. They're just like, bro, like, it's that sleeping season, man. They soak it up. If they need to rest, man, they're crashing out. They don't give a fuck until it's time to go on a walk, and then they're hyper again. But they fully indulge, you know? Obviously, they don't have the distractions that we do in that sense. So when they're tired, they just sleep, or rest. So I guess that's my main thing. Thank you. Practice self-love through whatever form that is for you. Whether that is letting yourself and giving yourself the permission to just talk to a camera and maybe even put it out. Whether it's you journaling, like, whatever it is, you know. Give yourself that before you expect someone else to give it to you. Rest up, and yeah, I'll see you on the other side. Peace.